Stop the world, I'm getting off. Guys, today's video is certainly an interesting one, and I'll leave it up to you to decide how this will end. Essentially, we've got a queer trans person that essentially converted to Islam and came out and spoke about saying make queer people feel more accepted by Islam. Handle it. As always, guys, we are going to be watching this footage, but first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So yeah, here you go. There's a watch of this.
I do feel like I get judgment from the queer community, but I have just recently reframed this, and I mean literally within the last week reframed this, right? Because for I would say 6 to 7 years before putting on hijab, I was visibly queer, very visibly queer, right? And I was very intentional about that. And there's a safety and a camaraderie that comes with being visibly queer in a space where there are other visibly queer people, especially when you're living in the Midwest or living somewhere where queerness is not as widely accepted. There's almost a sense of safety, even though you're not any physically safer. There's a sense of safety. There's a sense of belonging. There's a sense of I don't even know the words when you are in a space with other visibly queer people, right? And you see each other, you lock eyes. There's this knowing look, and I've really missed that since putting on hijab, and it has been really hard. There are queer people who give me a wide berth, give me a double take, give me, I wouldn't say nasty looks, they're not intentionally giving me bad looks, but I can tell that internally they're wondering if I'm judging them or wondering if I'm cursing them under my breath or something, you know what I mean? And so this has made me really sad, and this has been really, really difficult until earlier this week. I saw a visibly non-binary person at the store, and even if they weren't visibly non-binary, they were wearing a crocheted cardigan in the non-binary flag. It was very evident. And they saw me, weren't sure how to react to me, and I wasn't even saying it to be oh, here, let me give them something positive to react to. I literally just thought that their cardigan was super cute. And so I was I love your cardigan, that's so cute. And they lit up entirely. They lit up and they were oh my gosh, thank you. And I was yeah, of course. And I realized in that moment that instead of being judged by me, they were realizing that I was thinking something positive about them. In that moment, there was a possible reframe where they realized that somebody Muslim was not thinking negatively of them, but was thinking positively of them. And that alone might make them realize that not all Muslims are judgmental, not all Muslims are homophobic or transphobic. They don't need to know that I'm queer to realize that not all Muslims judge them. You know what I mean? That alone might make them feel safer, feel more accepting of Muslims and Islam, feel any type of way where they don't feel as scared in public, or they don't feel as judged in public, right? So now, I'm stoked to see queer people in public and give them compliments and be I love you, you are awesome, and have them, instead of being afraid of me, go, oh, that person was not judging me at all. I'm so excited to reframe the way that people see visible Muslims into, oh my gosh, that person was really nice to me. You know what I mean? So, I completely get what you mean. It is really discouraging and disheartening, and it's really hard. But I literally just this week, learned to reframe this, so maybe this will help other queer Muslims too.
I got some mixed questions. It's how does this even happen? How does this even happen? I've got so many questions. I'm interested to see what the comments say. I don't know how that would be accepted, to be fair. And I think that actually does sum it up pretty well, to be fair. All of this actual photo here. And these. Yeah, it just seems like a massive, complete opposite side of the spectrum, together. It's I've never seen something like this in my life. But yeah. I'm interested to know what you guys are thinking. It's probably time I get off the earth, I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. In other news, the former head of the government's equalities watchdog has warned a new definition of Islamophobia could be used against women's rights campaigners. Baroness Faulkner of Margravine, the term could be used to silence people who voice their concerns for the rights of Muslim women. According to Labour, the proposals are designed to counter a surge in anti-Muslim abuse. However, critics of the bill claim it acts as a de facto blasphemy law and could stifle legitimate criticism of Islam as a religion. Lady Margravine, who finished her term in charge of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, EHRC, last month, has criticized the government over the proposals, saying they were an attack on free speech. She told Sky News, "We have a situation now where the government has told us they're bringing in a new definition of Islamophobia that will be more speech curtailing, more speech chilling. At the Equality and Human Rights Commission, as you know, we're responsible for religion and belief. We are the regulator of religion and belief discrimination. If they're going to bring in yet another area where, for example, anyone who's defending women's rights is going to be accused by those ethnic minority men of Islamophobia, if they dare say something about how Muslim women are suppressed. I'm a Muslim woman myself. I know all about this. I know the community." While they were in opposition, Labour incorporated a definition of Islamophobia into its code of conduct for party members. It stated, "Islamophobia is rooted in racism and is a type of racism that targets expressions of Muslimness or perceived Muslimness." However, some critics raised questions about the wording drawn up by the all-party parliamentary group APPG on British Muslims. They said the wording was too broad and could amount to a blasphemy law, an accusation which Downing Street has strongly denied. At Prime Minister's questions on Wednesday, Graham Stringer, the Labour MP for Blackley and Middleton South, raised the topic. He said, "This country can be proud of its history of religious tolerance and religious freedom. The quid pro quo of that is the right to criticize religion. Can the Prime Minister assure this House that there will be no introduction or reintroduction of a blasphemy law, either by statute, by judicial overreach, or by a non-statutory definition of Islamophobia?" The Prime Minister responded, "Yes, I can give him that assurance, and it's important that I do so." Later in the same sitting, independent MP for Leicester South Shaukat Adam told the Commons that no religion was beyond critique or scrutiny, but added, "Islamophobia is real." He said, "I would like to ask the Prime Minister that in opposition, the definition of Islamophobia was adopted by the Labour Party. In government, it has been dropped. Can I ask what's changed?" Sir Keir did not respond to whether the definition had been dropped. He said, "Hatred in all its forms should be condemned by all of us in this House, and that includes anti-Muslim hatred as well, and we intend to act on it." The EHRC has previously criticised Labour for failing to properly consult key stakeholders on the definition. The watchdog said the definition failed to cover the many complications arising from the existing law, describing it as extremely narrow. While written advice was sent to the working group by the time of the meeting, the group had all but completed their work. A spokesman for the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government said, "This is nonsense. The independent working group listened to a broad range of views, and the call for evidence was published online and went out to everyone. We'll continue to protect our vital right to freedom of speech." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.